Hello and welcome back to Planet Stronghold Colonial Defence. Right, who have we got left to talk to? 1, 2, 3, and 3 side missions to do. Okay, so let's do some team talk and talk to Cresselia. Captain, do you have a minute? Of course. What's going on? I can't seem to find Cresselia anywhere. It's not a big deal, but Alicia was with her. I mean, perhaps the one on a hoverbike ride. If you happen to see them, pass the word along. Certainly. At this rate, you might consider implanting a surveillance unit on Alicia. I've been tempted, but the occasional solar flare would scramble it. I'm sure you don't mind me recording this story. I thought your people didn't care to copy their tales. That's the Dradens. They feel a tale is only alive when it is told. Then how would they keep the story the same? They don't. In some ways I can respect it, because it makes each story almost a new telling. But much of the past can also be lost as a result. Recording the stories has merit. I certainly agree, especially if you humans succeed in wiping my people out. I don't want that. I don't know why we can't get along. Of course, you conveniently forget to mention how your people attacked the colony first. All one has to do is look through your history to see atrocity upon atrocity. Peace wasn't exactly a common commodity before humans made it onto the scene, was it? Captain? What is this, Cresselia? Did you betray me? Read my thoughts, feel my emotions. I didn't expect the captain to appear, but they don't mean any harm. I see. Very well, I shall stay. Although you might want to tell the male he isn't doing much to keep his hostility in check. What can I say? I get a little paranoid when I find someone creeping around the colony. However, I haven't lifted a hand, have I? Not since Cresselia vouched for you. Well, I hope you can satisfy my curiosity about why there's a Margarine in the colony, and why Alicia's here. Sorry, Captain. Occasionally I meet with some of our alien number. No wonder Mario has trust issues with you. And I try to find common ground. For example, Cytherea. Hello. She's a mythologist among her people. I was actually going to record a new story for her, and, well, I thought Alicia might want to hear it as well. As for Caden, well, he followed me. You really need to brush up on your stealth skills, Cresselia. You looked as out of place as I would at one of Xavier's soirees. This story is how the Dune Runners first got their stripes. Yes, you. A long time back, when the stars were a distant desire just out of reach, the Dune Runners and the Margarine shared the same planet. In those days, the Dune Runners were a solid colour, gold of coat and white of breast. I disagree. I think you're prettier this way. And yet, there was a huntress who saw a mother Dune Runner bring down a Horcrux, and in that moment, seeing how the cat hunted, she desired to capture her, for she could hunt for her. So she tracked the cat back to her den. I'm surprised the huntress didn't become Scrimshaw. This is an origin story, not a scientific explanation. The huntress discovered that the cat was actually a mother, and had 3 kittens. Figuring 3 Dune Runners were better than 1, she waited until the mother left once more. Then, she crept in and captured the kits, bringing them back to the people. I wouldn't take your kits. The mother came back, only to find her children missing. She searched high and low, but could not find them, and she grieved heartily, her tears staining her coat. And that's how Remy came to be among the people? If you are willing to call humans people. Hey! Cytherea. Yes, he would be the distant descendant of the 3 stolen cubs. In which case he'd be inbred to all buggery. I'm sorry, you can't maintain a viable population with 3. That's one of the things about Red Dwarf that doesn't make scientific sense. In that they started off with 1 cat and 1 litter of kittens, and they somehow managed to survive for 3 million years. Nope, sorry, not happening. Thank you, Cytherea. I'll owe you a story the next time we meet, but I have one I think you will like. This seems innocuous enough. See, Captain? No harm done. I trust you, but I do like to keep on top of developments like this. I understand the need for security, but sometimes you have to fight the power. Cresselia, I'm with you. Of course. Captain... Actually, I have a question. Would you mind if we made this official? I've got some friends among the aliens. It might make people more comfortable if they could talk to them, not see them as the enemy. And you would do this even with a war going on? Not all the aliens think we should be at war. Hell, not all the humans do. No, I'd be more than willing to live and let live. Of course, the same can't be said about them. So, would this be something you'd consider, Captain? I'd say make some neutral ground for it. Perhaps we could convince the aliens to make some neutral ground where we could do this. That's a fair compromise. You'll find it could give you other benefits, such as a way to pass along a message without being exposed to your superiors. Well, I better go find Charlotte, prepare to get read the riot act. Having a neutral place between warring factions that can be used for diplomatic talks is always a good idea. Of course, you've got to trust both sides to maintain the neutrality of the place in question, or the place in question has to be a third neutral faction with enough power to hold off either of the other two. But, yes, having a neutral place for peace talks is always a fantastic idea, providing you trust the people who live there. Okay, let's do a job for Mitsuki. Where's Mario and his saute pan? Mitsuki, do you know how long this is going to take? Feeling a little nervous, Captain? We're in enemy territory. I won't feel comfortable until we're back at the colony. Are you sure coming here was necessary? Mitsuki leans back and motions you towards her. She's made several slices in a glowing mushroom, revealing a network of glowing lines. I was never much into gardening. What should I be seeing that I'm not noticing? Well, if you inhale deeply, the spores will have you seeing things for a week. However, what you're seeing is one of their computer nodes. Made from a plant? Maybe Samuel or Mira could tell you how, but it does give it a measure of resistance to my infiltration attempts. Sort of like an organic firewall. More of a shielding effect, but yes, only by getting close can we snoop on one of them. You take a look around, and the distant city lights reinforce just how deep you are in Madron territory. You sure the Madrons won't notice you? Please, I'm the best there is, and I promise the Madrons won't notice we're here. We're electronically invisible to them. Mitsuki's sentence is cut off as you pull her to the ground and feel a rush of air as something flies past you. There's a small explosion, and you're covered in bits of slimy mushroom when you see a Madron war party making its way to you. I didn't guarantee biologically invisible though. Weren't we supposed to get some chameleon suits? They were recalled on account of something being wrong with the coolant system. It wasn't venting right. Cooking them from the inside out. Another explosion focuses your attention, and then the Madrons are on you. Okay, so we only get a dozen cards here, so we can ditch the missile turrets, ditch the volunteers, ditch them, probably ditch the battle drones, I think, and the laser turrets. Probably with spiked iron mines. Actually, I probably need to have... oh no, it doesn't specify that I need to have... I'm forgetting character names now. Mitsuki with me. Ditch the sharpshooters, because even though I like them, they're expensive. And ditch the other missile turret. And ditch one regular infantry one. Okay. Oh, I have to have Mitsuki selected, okay. To be fair, I'm not going to use her, but she, you know, or any of her cards, I should say, but she's there. Right, I can deploy a cloaked marksman team and a regular infantry squad, so I'm going to do that. Right. Kill it. Q. Alright, let's use a grenadier team to pop his shields. And then... yes, let's use my regular infantry to kill them. I'll leave the marksman team free to attack there. Or another marksman team. Yeah, it's going down this turn. Nice and clean. All that work, and for what? Better alive than dead, don't you think? I guess I just hate wasting my time. I mean, I could have been leveling up my Naga instead. When we get back, the rest of the day is yours. You might want to wash, though. Yeah, you won't really like it when Margarine blood dries up. Charming. Yes, I appear to be covered in the blood of this sapient alien species. Oh well. I suspect this is the segment where you get the jealousy screens if you're attempting to romance multiple people. Bloody bastard doesn't know when to give up. Captain, I'm glad you're here. Someone should take his head off. Why? Looks like Xavier drank a bit too much. Throw him in a cell until he sobers up and get him for public drunkenness. Trust me, I normally would. However, from what I overheard, well, he wouldn't be in a cell for drunkenness, but for treason. What? I told you, he's just trying to let off some steam. He received a message early today, and after reading it, he came here and decided to drink his arse off. Alright, I'll find out what's going on. Isn't like Xavier to get this sourced. Not unless he's been hitting Kristoff's special brew. Hello, Captain. If you don't mind, could you breathe a little quieter? And would you like it if I refrained from letting my hair grow? That would be much appreciated. I hear you've been talking treason. I'm not a traitor. Then why did I overhear you talking about blowing up the Queen's summer palace? Wait, you said what? Did I say that? Yes, you did. If it was someone else, I could have let it slide, but when it comes to the heir of one of the largest duchies on Earth... Oh, damn it all to hell, me and my big mouth. For the sake of our friendship, there'd better be a good explanation for this. So if this doesn't sound good, I'm going to have to take you in. I think you've figured out by now I don't really get along with my family. Especially my father. Oh, now it's beginning to make some sense. Look, I don't care what kind of daddy issues you have, just explain what's going on. Let's just say my father isn't a large fan of our royal family. In fact, he has some delusions of taking the throne. Sees himself as a master manipulator, but he's less Machiavelli, more Three Stooges. Then why keep him in his position? He's so incompetent he's left alone. The Imperial throne uses him to draw out real dangers, yet his financial support, they make discreet inquiries. One would think would-be rebels would have noticed that by now. Smart ones do. There are always some up-and-comers who get blinded by his wealth, and, well, I figure since he's still a duke, father must be doing something right. Except something's changed all this. Exactly. My sister sent word that his latest stunt actually looks like it has a good chance to succeed. If you're complicit to this scheme, I'm afraid I'll have to call in the interrogators. What? Oh, of course I'm not. I'm loyal. Hook me up to a lie detecting machine like Cresselia Properman. Hell, take this disc, Lena. Contains all the information you could want. Thank you. I'll make sure it goes to the right people. I'm sorry if I doubted you, however briefly. That's why I decided to get hammered. No matter what happens, my father's going to end up in prison or worse. Despite what I feel, he's still my father. I could recommend leniency. I'd appreciate it, but it doesn't help me with a greater dilemma. I don't know if I'm cut out for this. You wouldn't be the first noble serving in active duty. That's not what I'm talking about. After my brother died, some might have called me an attention whore grown up. The only thing is, being in the limelight, I knew no one would think I was a threat, or try to involve me in their schemes. And now you won't have much choice. Exactly. I'm trying to figure out what to do. Well, since getting drunk isn't a long-term solution, especially if your liver gives out, Mira could always grow me a new one. What do you think I should do, Captain? You've got to do what you want to do. Then make a stand. Let your actions and deeds speak for themselves rather than your father's past failings. That ain't gonna make a lot of friends. I think it'll make more than you suspect, and even if not, we'll have your back. Let me escort you home, Xavier. You can think on this with a clearer head later. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Nothing quite like a teammate who's drunk off their arse. Right, that's a good point to end this part, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next.